Good morning, today's Friday, and today we go to the field trip. It's a little bit earlier than usual. It's about 7:30 right now. We're about to head out around 8:15 to head on over because it's going to take about an hour or so to get over there. The kids are dressed. I'm ready. Nelson's getting ready. The kids are already had breakfast, and I just have to wrap up a few things. I've got to make their lunches and get the girls' hair done because the hairs are not done yet. Today we're going to spend the day at the farm. So last night I went ahead and prepared today's food. I have some pork chops, some carrots, some tomatoes, garlic and onions in here. This will be on low while we're gone all day. That way when I come back, I don't have to worry about that. Of course, I'll still probably make some asparagus, maybe a little bit of a side of rice, but this will be nice to have done by the time we get home because I know we're going to be exhausted being there all day and plus the trip back. So I went ahead and did that. Kids had waffles this morning and I'm about to start packing all our lunches. The kids are in the back watching Incredibles while I was preparing all this stuff, so you'll hear the cartoons. But I just finished packing their lunches. They have sandwiches and veggie sticks. Nelson and I also have some sandwiches and veggie sticks, and then I got some apples. These are just cut up, and then a couple of plums. Nelson has the Yeti cooler ready right there. We're just gonna put everything in there. And we also have a lot of water bottles, so we're ready to go.
What grows next? What's the first thing to grow on the vine? Yes, ma'am.
A pumpkin.
Not yet. Almost. What else? Yes, sir. Before the pumpkin, what comes? Flower. What comes before the flower? Anybody know? What? How about a pumpkin leaf? Everybody put your arms together like this. Pretend like this is the pumpkin vine, and your hands are the leaves.
heat. Make it louder. Do you guys think y'all can get it louder? It's Friday afternoon going into the weekend. Y'all get a little bit louder. Come on. All right, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. That was pretty loud. Here they come. Herbal's getting loaded up.
There you go.
All right, guys, we've got some world famous words out here at Washington Farms to get a pig race started, and that is piggy, start your engine. So can you guys help me out again and get these pigs started on the count of 3? All right. So on the count of 3, piggy, start your engine. 1, 2, 3. Piggy, start your engine. They're off to a slow start. Blue and green are out in front. Yellow and red bringing up the tail. Down the back straight away goes blue, starting to pull away. Red trying to make a move on the inside. Coming into the final turn. We got blue, red, green, and yellow. Looks like the blue pig is going to take this race.
So we are back from the farm. We actually got here like a couple hours ago, but we all kind of zonked out on the couch. The kids took a good nap while we were driving, but we were all still so tired when we got here. We kind of just lay down on the couch. We put some blankets on it and we all just kind of relaxed on it for a little bit. This was on while we were away, so we got the meat part done. I'm gonna grill some asparagus and maybe make a little bit of side of rice for the kids. And that's what we're doing now. So these are the pork chops. They're like, all the bones have fallen off of them. They're so sweet and tender. And I just put here some canned diced tomatoes, some carrots, onions, garlic. I put a little bit of like chicken bouillon in there. And as well as salt, pepper, and some oregano, and just let it steep all day, as you can see. And it's so nice to come home to something that's pretty much already done. So I have the asparagus in there. I've got the rice over here, and we are ready to eat. So I was going to go ahead and make some more of the tea that you guys saw in an earlier vlog this month. And I know you guys had a lot of questions. Right now, the reason I'm going to go ahead and make this tea is because Nelson tends to get a little bit of allergies whenever he's out and about in like a farm setting or just in the outdoors. He can get a little bit allergic. And my oldest daughter also has a little bit of an issue with allergies. So I figured today, since we got back from the farm, I'll go ahead and make some tea. That way they'll just feel a little bit better. We always take Zyrtec before we head out to anything like that, but this always does help. So I'm going to go over the ingredients real quick and then kind of show you guys how much I put in each. I don't really measure, but I'll at least show you guys how much of each little ingredient I put. And I always use this teapot right here, and we filled it up and it's 2 quarts full. So at least it'll give you a gauge of how much I put per the water contents inside the teapot. So real quick, I put eucalyptus leaves in there. I use rosemary, and I usually have chamomile flower. They didn't have any chamomile flower last time I went to do my restock, and then I went again, and I did find that they had these chamomile tea bags. And usually when they make chamomile tea, they usually use the flower. So I went ahead and got several of them and just kind of stuck them in here. And then I'll just use a couple of these tea bags in there along with them in place of the chamomile flower. If you don't have chamomile flower in your tea, it can taste a little bitter because the flowers do help it sweeten up. but it's still good and it works just great. And then I also like to use the stem of chamomile as well. I put that in there. And then here I have some spearmint leaves, which also has a nice aroma, and it really gives it a good flavor. It sweetens it up. Then I also have anise seed, and then I have star anise as well. So these are all the things that go in it. And they all really work great against, like, you know, the flu and just battling congestion and allergies and all that stuff. At least that's why we put all these ingredients together in one pot. At the end of it, I kind of like steep it in here for a while. I kind of just dump everything in there, let it come to a boil, and then I'll let it just steep in there for a little while with all the ingredients. And while it's steeping, I usually take 1 lemon or 2 sometimes, and then I'll just open it up, cut it in half, squeeze the lemon juice or the lime juice out of it, and then just dump the whole thing in there and just let it steep with all of the herbs. So that's kind of pretty much all that goes in there. You can do 1 lime or 2, just again, depends on your preference. So just so you guys can see the type of allergies that Nelson's get whenever he's out on a farm or out, look at his eyes. See how red they are? Yeah.
So, well, disclaimer though, I had my contacts in all day. So like this happens worse when I wear my contacts. So I don't know if it's because it doesn't let my eyes breathe as good.
Right. But you're really sensitive when it comes to like...
Right, and the only reason I wear contacts, normally I wear my glasses, but I wear contacts because I want to be able to wear my sunglasses, you know, to keep the sun off. But, you know, the one thing that we've been trying to do and trying to learn a lot of is kind of doing the, you know, a lot of medicinal remedies that, you know, before...
Herbal stuff.
Or herbal remedies, you know, we had thousands of years where people, you know, didn't have modern medicine, you know, created by like, you know, John Rockefeller, early 1900s. But before that, you know, people took care of themselves, you know, with herbs. And, you know, before I used to have to take a ton of Zyrtec and everything during spring, but we're trying to like wean ourselves and have my body recuperate. And, you know, which is one of the reasons we started using more of this tea. You know, this tea is for us. There's a lot of, you know, anti-inflammatory properties in the tea. Obviously, go do your research. You know, this is what we do for our family. Mm-hmm. But by all means, we just showed you all the ingredients. Go look up all the ingredients, find out all the background behind everything. And if it's something you can use for yourself, use it. But if not, you know, we're not recommending it for people. What we're doing is, you know, showing you what we do to take care of, you know, what happens to us. You know, this is real life. You know, allergies do exist, you know, prime example. But
and it works for us. It works for us.
Right, this is 100 times better than what I used to do. I mean, I used to not be able to breathe. I mean, I'd have to take 1 or 2 Benadryls. I don't take Benadryl anymore. So it's like, it's a slow waning process. But I think the one thing at the end, because it still takes, not that it tastes better, but if you want to add a little bit of sweetness, and what we always do is use raw honey. Unfortunately, we ran out of our raw honey. Our local,
right.
Our local, because we always get it from like the local farmer's market, and you know, it's like that big mason jar. And then this is just something we just bought at Publix. We're obviously out.
It's still raw honey though.
It's still raw honey. So we always choose to go with the raw honey. And again, you know, your choice, raw honey or pasteurized honey, it's up to you. We tend to choose the raw honey from the farmer's markets. But again, that's just what we like to do. on a Friday, we decided to go ahead and cook brisket. So it's freshly out of the pack. I'm gonna trim the fat off. Not all of it, but just, you know, this side looks good. A little bit of this. I'll trim some of this off. So this is the fat cap. So this is where I'll trim the fat. I won't trim all of it because I like to leave some of the fat on there. That way when we smoke it, or when I smoke it, it renders through the meat. So there's different versions of how people cook brisket. Fat cap down, fat cap up. I like to put the fat on the top. That way it renders down through. So there we go. We're gonna wrap up the weekend with smoking some meat. And then we can enjoy this after the soccer games tomorrow.
So the kitchen's already clean. Nelson is working on the brisket. The kids are bathed. And now we're going to have a little bit of ice cream sundaes. And we are going to call it a night. Because tomorrow is another big day out in the sun again. So I'll sign out here and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Until then, adios.